Good morning, good morning. My name is Rick Noda. I am the founder of T3 Body, where we tighten, tactical, and transition, and your host today for T3 Talks. We're building on travel, and again, the importance of travel. Have it be traveling right in your living rooms to do a fort and traveling using
imagination.
No, like we talked about traveling and creating a fort in your home. And with that fort in the home, you get your kids, your family used to getting rid of mobile devices, being able to survive with just board games and going out and doing outings, having be going to local parks and things like that. Only being able to then progress to maybe camping in the backyard, and then eventually maybe even getting on a plane and camping somewhere else in a different state. But it can't be a T3 Talks with a few stories, you guys. Now, I'm going to tell you guys a very funny story about myself and my wife and on our honeymoon. And we had a trip to the beautiful island of Aruba. Aruba, Jamaica. That's really why we went there. I'm not going to lie to you, because there was a song. It goes, Aruba, Jamaica, all I want to meet you, Bahamas. So we literally were trying to, and we have gone to almost every place that was there. I'm still just missing Jamaica, you guys. I've been to all the other places, the Bahamas. I've been to Aruba and Buenos Aires and some other places like that was in that song. Jamaica, I think I would never leave. That's just it. Yeah, man. All right, just being funny. So, Aruba, I talk about the 7 Ps. So, we're going on our honeymoon. I learned that in Aruba, they speak 2 languages, a little bit of Portuguese and some Spanish, and English as a third language. So, it's Portuguese, Spanish, and then English. I also learned that Aruba is an island that is about 5 miles from diameter to there. It's also what you call a desert Caribbean island, meaning gambling is legal there. All right, but it's a desert. There you don't have fresh agriculture and stuff. It's it's like literally the wild west in Arizona with tumbleweeds and all that stuff, cactuses. So I thought it was actually kind of cool. Forbes at the time said that it was tourist friendly, and the price point wasn't super high, where the conversion from dollar to to whatever they're using, their pesos or whatever, was in the win-win of the U.S. So for our second anniversary, our second wedding, remember I got married first civilly very quickly with chalk on my hands as my wife laughed, and then we got married via church. We went to Jesus, all right, and had a beautiful wedding with 250 people I didn't know, all right. And we got married, and it was a beautiful ceremony. So as a gift, we were given a trip to Aruba. And it was me and Glee. I was 22 at the time. My wife was 18. No kids. You guys, we talked about the importance of travel. I have traveled everywhere around the world, and my wife has traveled within the local states. I think she's gone to the Philippines maybe once, but never traveled without, like, an adult. You know what I mean? Like, my wife was 18, and literally she went from one adult to a little kid, which is me. All right. So, we go to Aruba, you guys. When I tell you, if you've never been to Aruba, it is incredible. The food is nice. The people are great. You can literally see the entire island. You rent a car. You can see the entire island in like a few hours. It's done. I actually don't lie, or I can't laugh, about this enough. I ran the entire island. You know what I mean? Literally, like one day my wife goes, "Where are you going?" "Oh, I'm going on a run." And I literally ran the one half, and then I came back because I thought I was kind of whatever. And I talked to one of the guys from, one of the Arubanites, and they're not Arubanites, or whatever, someone from the island there. And I'm like, if I run all the way around, could I come back to the start? He goes, yeah, sure, no problem. He goes, if you start at your hotel and you go all the way around, you'll be able to run really through the borders of the island. Dude, third day, guess what I did? Just like that. It was one of the coolest things, because what it did for me was I was able to know these small little niches. So I was able to tell our taxi cab driver, hey, can you take me here? Turn right, turn left, turn. Oh, there we go. And we ate at a little place, some directly off the ocean, and literally had Kong sea. We were listening to Kong seashells and literally eating some of the Kong. Now, Kong is more from the Bahamas. That's where they really get its known to fame, is from the Bahamas. But there they had the same thing. So it was kind of nice as a place to kind of get something out of the ordinary. I saw something that wasn't on the Forbes sheet because I went off the beaten path a little bit and I did a little bit of recon there. Now, as we're flying to Aruba, we're going internationally. So we go from Chicago O'Hare, we fly to Florida, and then from Florida we go from there and we bump directly to Aruba. And then we go to Aruba. You literally land, and I don't know how to say this respectfully. It literally looks like a lemonade stand. Your customs is, and the airport is super small. It is, again, it was a few years ago. Maybe it's gotten better, but it was a little island town, So to me, the pace was slower. Everything was there. It was so awesome, Customs was this. What you carrying, man? I'm like, my bags? Cool, go ahead, man. Welcome to Aruba. It wasn't like, take your shoes off, strip on down. I'm going to go through your stuff. Now, leaving, it was a little bit different. They did want to make sure that, we weren't taking any fruit or anything to the U.S., so they wouldn't get in trouble. And then when we got to MIA, or Miami International, there they literally went, cavity search, to make sure that you weren't taking some good Aruban stuff, but it was kind of funny to see the differences in the airport and some of the security there. But the whole thing about Aruba was the experience that me and my wife had. I was 18 and 22, so my wife of 18, who couldn't legally drink in the States, who wasn't a big drinker anyways, could go into these casinos, and at a very young marriage age, being married together, we can experience life, that she would normally have not experienced because she was underage. I know I'm robbing the cradle. She's 18, I'm 21, but she was really getting the experiences of being a little bit more mature. So travel allowed for her to be a little bit more mature. The other thing that you guys got to realize is this. Guess who's in these places who are other Americans? People in their 30s, their 40s. You've got retirees. How many 18 and 22-year-olds do you think I saw? Not many, man. If I did, they were a bachelor party. They were coming in. They were there really kind of like, or like myself, that they were on a honeymoon or whatever. But they're few and far between. The majority of the people that were traveling there were older. Go think about that. They start people that older. They're more successful in their life. I'm experiencing something that they're doing when they're 18 or 20, or I'm 18 and 22. Travel's important. So we experienced this. Everything's great. We're about ready to leave. We're about ready to go. And the next day, I'm still a little bit of a jarhead, so I'm packing everything up, getting ready to go. Go to my wife. I go, you know what? It's the last night. We got about $200-300, ride or die. We're going to spend in the casino. If we make it, we'll leave here with $1,000. Or you know what? We just go to the airport, get on an airplane, go back home, and it is what it is. So, remember that back in the day, I told you I was a little bit of a drinker. When you're gambling there, just like in Vegas rules, you know what? The drinks are flowing. Things are going. I got a big fat cigar in my mouth. I'm wearing a one-piece white silks. One-piece white silks with black shoes. No socks. Okay? Love it when they call me Big Pop. But yeah, buddy, straight up Tupac Shakur, Versace looking, Bruno Mars, 24 karat. I am straight up with a cigar, literally making it rain in a casino. So I love craps. I was doing well, drinking. I was up money. I was down money. My wife's playing the slots. We show up. Our flight is early in the morning, and guess, I got that ride or die mentality. If that flight's at 6 a.m., guess what? We can go straight to the casino right there. That's exactly what we do. We go straight from the casino, go right there at 6 o'clock in the morning. We pour ourselves into the airport, and they say, "Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Noda, you're supposed to be here 2 hours ago." What? Well, yeah, it's 2 hours check-in prior to international flights. And by the way, it's $200 for international fees for leaving Aruba. I'm like, do you take a Coke and a smile? I said, because I ain't got no money. I smell like booze and cigar, and I'm still in that white baby outfit there, man, with no shoes on. And, I almost want to take my chain off, going, hey, dude, can you take this? Can I get on that flight? Wasn't happening. So what I have to do? Oye, papi, can you do me a favor? Can you wire transfer me some money? Well, I'm like, okay, sure, no problem. Now, technically, I've got not technically, realistically, I have no money in my pocket. So I don't have money for a cab at all to even go to where they have to wire me. And I'm not this guy. All right. Oh, just go get the cab, let the cab sit there, and then go get the money and then wait and let that run. Dude, if that money's not there, that just all the money I just had is gone. So I'm not that guy. Again, maybe the 7 Ps work or not, but I'm using that. Okay. So I asked one of the locals, I said, hey, this money that I'm getting Western Union to me, all right, and I just want you to know that was a collect international call I had to make. Collect international call. All right. When I mean that's how much no money, that's what dumbass does at 22. Okay. So I make that collect international call. I have to go to wherever the local place is. I'm in those nice whites pants and nice Versace shoes. All right. They weren't Versace's, but you know what I mean, you guys. You know, they were nice and wingtipped. You know, they had a nice cockroach thing. All right. So I go and the guy goes, oh my God, that part? Way other side of island. Now remember, I've ran the entire circumference of the island. So I go, what side? He goes, oh, I go, and I know in my mind that's about 3.4 miles. I'm a triathlete. I go, no problem. I go this. So on this trip, purposely, you guys, you know, I brought my running shoes. I brought this. But remember, when you run the island in a tropical island, you know, my running shoes were buried in my bag because I didn't think I was going to use them again. All right? All my running clothes was there, and I didn't want to be in the middle of the airport unpacking all my stuff and then go get it. So right on the top is what I had, which were basically Nike sandals that were like had the Velcro on it. All right? So I said, you know what? I had a pair of like Bermuda shorts or like swim trunks, and I went ahead and throw those on with my sandals.
Yippee-ki-yay, mother.
I go running to go to the Western Union. I tell my wifey, stay right here. I'm going to go run. I run to get to the Western Union like this. Guess what? Money's not there. Wire wasn't going through, wrong routing number, yada, yada, yada. Can I use your phone? Sure, no problem. Do you have any money? No. Can I make a collect call? No. This phone doesn't allow collect calls. Guess what I got to do? Run 3.4 miles back to the airport. Get back to the airport. Make a collect call. Make that collect call. Tell my dad for some reason, whatever that didn't go through, got to do it again. Blah, blah, blah. He says, I'm going to keep you on hold. I'm going to try to call internationally to see. Doesn't work. I go, don't worry. It's only a 3.4 mile run. Click. I run back over there. All right. Are you totaling up the miles? Now I've gone back and forth. We're about 7 miles right now. I'm almost at a 10K or a 15-kilometer run. Almost at 10 miles. I get there. All right. And at this point, I get the money. Watch my thinking, Esteban. Screw it. I've ran there already. Why take a double cab? I run back. All right. Glee goes, why did you take a cab? I go, I'm not taking a cab for 3 miles. If I just ran it 4 times, I'm not going to take it. I'm just going to run it back. And then literally we take a cab from there to the hotel. I literally then, at that point, you guys, you know, now remember, I'm retired from alcohol. Probably 90% of that budget probably went on drinks after that, all right? Not going to lie. We paid for our hotel. We knew now that we had to be in 3 hours before our flight had left. I knew that I had a fee. I had to pay of like $100 per person. It's called the Aruba, we're going to screw you tax. That's why they were so nice letting me in, all right, because they were going to hit me on the back door there, all right? And me and my wife learned a most valuable lesson about international travel, all right? I got a great workout. I really started to appreciate the Aruban locals because they were cheering me on. I mean, literally by the time I was going back and forth, people had figured out that I was going to, you know, something had gone wrong or whatever, but they were really warm-hearted to me. And if you ever thought I was a triathlete, I was the epitome right there of literally just doing a transition from one to the other, you guys. But that experience in Aruba, you guys, really helped me that when years later when I went to Spain, Mallorca, and really went with a cycling camp. Did you think that happened? No. Do you think I had a little bit of an emergency fund with me? Yes, I did. And that was a nest egg that we didn't spend, so that if we got to the airport or we got somewhere where we needed, I had $200 or $300 in cash, or I then converted it to the local currency so that if I needed to talk their language, I'd give them euros or pesos so that, again, I wasn't really giving them more than I really needed to because I understood the rate of exchange and stuff. But that is, again, something I learned. But I learned it, I would like to say, even though I was a Marine, I had traveled to countries. That was a little bit of the ego and the arrogance that I had to learn. But what's kind of nice is my community and my family really helped me. And you goddamn right, they held me accountable. I had to pay that money back. Not only did I have to pay that money back to my dad, I still don't live that shit down, man. I still listen to how was Aruba, man? So when I say our motivation will inspire you to be better, get out there and travel, you guys. Hope you enjoyed this episode. T3 Body, you guys, is a company and a fitness company that really talks about the complete athlete. When I talk about our motivation inspires you to be better, all right, as a non-for-profit that supports military veterans that suffer from mental health issues, I really enjoy the support you guys are giving me here on YouTube. But again, I am seeking clients on my T3 Body. So if you go ahead and take a look at my website, understand that the intimacy of getting to know you starts with just 30 minutes motivation. So you go on there, you sign up for one of those, you get a one-on-one remote talk with me just like this. Then I encourage you to go and look at one of my training plans, download a 4 to 8 week training plan, and really kind of just test your body, test yourself, and just really start to get yourself ready to then do the next thing is where you get 4 or 5 of your friends together and dare yourself to be better, where there you have a little bit more of my information along with my training plan. You get some remote sessions with me regardless of where you're at. You notice if you're watching me on YouTube right now, you can hear my voice and I can train you, all right? And that 45-day dare is a great way to just see and challenge yourself to really do the final thing is become a member. Being a member with me is a commitment, and it's made for just an elite amount of people. So when I talk about membership here, I really talk about a really elite group of individuals who really understand our core values of God, country, family, and really live by and have really adopted where our motivation inspires them to be better. So I wanted to touch on that, you guys, and really use that so that individuals like yourself who are getting better and inspiring others that understand that, you know what, we do need your support to keep everything going.